Hey, you guys, my name is Kylie Davila. I'm a senior Ruby brand ambassador, and I'm super excited to be talking to you guys tonight about belief and specifically how to build belief. It's one of my favorite topics to go over, and something to know that is belief is buildable. So you don't have to like walk into this business and have some sort of skills or level. Just know it is buildable. You don't have to have it all figured out in the beginning. You can even borrow it. A lot of us will say that we have borrowed belief from our upline and our friends, and that will get you by for a while. But the fact is, you do have to develop your own belief because that will only get you so far. If you want to get to those high levels and you want to get far, which should be all of our goals, right? To get to the top, you have to build your own belief. Something else before we get in, I'm going to give you guys 4 pillars. That's what we're going to go over tonight. 4 pillars of belief in this business. Something else though is that action is key. You have to take action. If you don't do the hard things, if you are not constantly trying, how do you know that you're an overcomer? How are you going to know that you're somebody who can persevere? And if you think that you have to be perfect and that you're not going to mess up, you will. You're in for a rude awakening. And it's really just failing forward and failing forward and failing forward. There's a quote by Winston Churchill that success is the ability to move from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And I love that because that is so true. Failure is not a bad thing. Like, I think society has like scripted that to us that it is bad, but it's not. Literally, you're going to fail and you're going to learn, and then you're going to do better. And then you're going to grow. It's going to be awesome. And also feel the fear. Every time you're taking action, you're going to feel the fear and do it anyways. Fear is going to always be present. Matter of fact, like, I've been in this business for years now. And when I go to do scary or big things, or even lead calls for the team or anything, I feel fear and I feel it and I do it anyways, because I know that this is what it takes to stretch myself and to get to those levels that I want to get to. And then the last thing before we get into them is that belief leaks. Like, the way that I view it is like, if you have a cup up here and it has all the holes at the bottom and it's leaking out, I always like to think of it as like, that's you pouring into your team or your people. But the thing is, you have to be continuously filling it up or it's going to be empty and you're going to be drained. You're going to have nothing else to give. So you like continuously have to be filling so that you do not go empty. Okay, so let's get into the 4 pillars. I'm going to give them to you. So write, if you guys have pen and paper, I hope you do, write 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can write belief in, and then I'm going to give you the fill in the blanks. And what I want you to do as you write these names down, I want you to measure where you're at in your belief, like 1 to 10. Where are you at? Of course, like 10 being the highest and then 1 being the least. Rate yourself, be so honest. I know that can be very vulnerable to be like, where am I really at? But give yourself a rating. In our book that we're reading, The Power of One More, they talk about like where performance is measured, performance improves. And so I think in order for you to know that you're growing and where and that you're improving, like, you have to know where you're starting. So we're going to measure each one of these, and then I'm going to get into each pillar and then give you guys some action steps for those. Okay. Number 1 is belief in the products. Number 2 is belief in the company. Number 3 is belief in the business. And then number 4 is belief in yourself. So we have products, company, business, and then yourself. Okay, so getting into the first one is belief in the products. And wow, if you dive into like all the science, if you even know like a fraction of all the science that goes on behind these products, like, I know your confidence in the products would be like through the roof. Because if you look at the medical advisory board, any of the minds behind it, like the doctors, they are so brilliant. They're from like NASA and Johns Hopkins and all these crazy places. Like they are the most brilliant minds, and they really focus on quality. These are quality products. And because they are quality products, they are quality of life products, which make it different from anything else. Like what you're offering people is hope. What you're offering people is for long-term sustained health. Like this is all about prevention over prescription. We always say like our focus is root level healing. We don't want another Band-Aid to cover something up. That is not what Plexus is. We want you to like feel your best so you can be your best. That's what I always say is like, when I feel my best, I can show up as my best. And feeling bad may be common, but it is not normal, you guys. It is not. You do not have to believe that. I know we see it all the time in society. There's even, I think one of the most popular things that go around is like tired as a mother, right? And so I just want you to know there's another script. You don't have to listen to that. In order for you to be the best version of yourself that God created you to be, you need to bridge the gap and then show up. When you feel your best, you can be your best and show up as that best self. And so here's some action. If you find yourself like needing to build your belief, here are some action steps for you to take. So number one, and I feel like this is so simple that it almost just gets missed, or you might even be tempted to be like, well, yeah, duh. But seriously, get in your back office and download a PDF. Like go there, pick out a product right now that you want to go this week and learn more about. And it doesn't matter if it's like the most common slim or whatever, or if you want to do something that's not as common, just pick a product, because when you start to learn, it does boost your confidence and your belief, which is what this is all about. So get in the back office, download a PDF. Go to our groups. Our groups have really good information. This could be our Empower page, Pink Power, our Health and Happiness page. We have live videos from other product events in there. We have several groups. If you're not in the groups and you're not sure where to look, please ask your upline or message me directly. I will add you to the groups so that you can search, because I think it's a great source to be able to go in there, use the little search bar, and then go look for products. Okay, testimonies. I think testimonies is crucial. You should be getting in there and reading testimonies from people, because these are not just like, oh yeah, good for her, she feels good. These are like life-changing. Some of them will bring you to tears, I promise. And so get in the pages, read the testimonies, see people getting like their lives back. You have husbands who are getting their wives back, kids whose mom is now present. And so get in the groups, read some testimonies. And then last action step is to think back to your own story. Why did you start this journey? And if you're new, you might still be creating your story. Or if you've been here a while, just think back. How did your life look before Plexus? And really think that over. Okay. So number 2 is belief in the company. And I want to say to you guys, I wholeheartedly believe that Plexus is the best company out there to join. And I know there's a lot, but I'm telling you, they do it right. The company is like top of the line. They are a legacy company, 14 years old, which means it's very stable. It is a debt-free company. So this is not a company that you have to be like, well, now I'm here, but then tomorrow it could be gone. It is completely financially safe and stable. We rank in the top of the world for direct sales. I think last year we were like 28th, I believe, but in like the whole wide world globally, we are in the top 40 of direct sell companies. And that's insane that we're worldwide. We're becoming a household name. That's because people know that these products work. They know that the integrity and value of the company is there. Like people recognize that. And Plexus is becoming a household name, just like Mary Kay, kind of like for makeup. Plexus is that for the health and wellness aspect. They literally go above and beyond, like for real. Tarl, I really love Tarl and Alec, our CEO and our president of Plexus. They are some of the most genuine humans that you'll ever meet. My husband went with me to convention and he was like, oh, that's them over there just walking around like normal, talking to people. I'm like, yeah, they're very down to earth. They're so kind, and it makes you feel so proud to be a part of something that is like that stems from good, high integrity people. But what I wanted to tell you guys, Charles, which is the CEO, back in 2020 and all the craziness, he literally took a pay cut of 6 months just to give back all of his income. He literally did not have any income for 6 months. He put everything back into Plexus to be donated or to be given out in bonuses for the ambassadors, because he knew, hey, I recognize this is a really hard time for people. People are going through a lot of stuff, even if it's not financial, it's health, like there's a lot of things. So he literally gave up 6 months of his pay to give back. And I think that speaks volumes. And lastly, our company, the comp plan is so unique for Plexus. They went out, I think there's 4 common for like network marketing. Plexus looked at all of them and then literally created their own to reflect and favor the ambassadors. And it's amazing. Like our comp plan is the best. 50% of the profit of Plexus literally goes right back into Plexus to be given out to brand ambassadors. And that's huge for 50% to be given back. We're backed by Morgan Stanley, A+ rating in the business, a Better Business Bureau. Always get tongue-tied saying that, the BBB. And it's not a fly-by-night company at all. Like Plexus is like the highest quality you will find, the highest integrity, the highest value. And here are some action steps. If you want to build your belief in the company, these are some action steps for you. So the first thing is go to events. You have to go to events. This is going to include like Super Saturday, convention, Ruby Retreat, Gold School, Ruby's on the rise, even the earn trips like Silver Star, or where all of our jewels are right now in Hawaii on the beautiful beaches. And I don't feel like you have to be told that you need to go to Hawaii. Like I think everybody would be like, yeah, I'm going. But you have to go to events, because going to events and being at them, that is what's going to give you that rock solid, unshakable belief. I remember Fallon years ago. Fallon is now like, I don't know, a 7-star diamond, I think, like way up there, right? She says in the beginning that she could not afford to go to convention, but she said, I knew I had to be there because Lori told me that leaders are created at events. So I said, I'm going. And you know what she did? She sat in her room and she ate hot dogs because she couldn't afford to go out with anybody else and to eat food. So she literally brought hot dogs and ate hot dogs in her room just so she could show up. And she has, I think she has 6 kids now. And I don't know if she had 4 or 5 at the time. But she had all the excuses to be like, you know what, I just can't make it. But she put those behind and she said, no, if this is important to me, I'm going to find a way. And she did. And now she's like a 7-star diamond. And so I think I said, yes. So leaders are born at events, and there's nothing else like being in the same room with thousands and thousands of other like-minded people. It's very tangible. It's like the physical experience, because we usually do a lot of things virtually, but it's like being in the same room where you can like touch people and like take pictures and see people. There's nothing like it in the whole world. So going to events, immersing yourself in this culture, those action steps right there will build rock solid, unshakable belief. You got to find where there's a will, there's a way, right? Okay. Third thing is belief in the business. And so when we talk about this business, of course, we're talking about MLM, network marketing. You have to have faith in this line of business. And the fact is, like, people, when I think of like a normal 9-to-5, Monday through Friday, it's very common for people to be going to bed on Sunday night, dreading Monday because they hate whatever career they're in, the positions they're in. They're just not fulfilled. What they're doing, their work is not related to their purpose, so they're not happy. And that doesn't mean everybody, but it's very common that I hear that. There's just no time freedom. and you're literally working yourself ragged, really, for somebody else's dream. One of the quotes from Tony Robbins, he says that activity without purpose is the drain of your life. So activity without purpose is the drain of your life, which is why most people are so drained. It's like, I'm not going to say that this work and this opportunity is not hard. It is very hard. This is a hard, I mean, you're literally stepping into your purpose, and you're growing and you're thriving, you're doing uncomfortable things. But the thing is that this work is so fulfilling because you're stepping into your purpose. You wake up on Mondays so excited because you know you're going to get to train and empower other people. And you know that because you showed up today, you're directly impacting somebody else's life. You know that your work is not meaningless. You're directly impacting somebody's future. It is so full of purpose. So it's fulfilling. Something else is like, you never get to the top alone, you guys, never. If you're going to reach success, if you find yourself reaching success, it is because you're pulling other people up with you. You'll never go to the top alone. And I think that is so cool, that the fact that I show up and I'm pursuing my dreams, that I get to pull other people up and to do the same. And when other people see you like pursuing your dreams, it gives them permission to start chasing theirs. And it's so cool. Residual income. I love Natalie Borges' story. She always talks about, she was in the hospital, literally pulling her son out. There's a crazy story there, but she says, I was giving birth, and over to the side, my phone was going off, and I have new business builders, and I'm getting paid bonuses, and I'm making money, and I'm literally over here having a baby. And so there's residual income, which is amazing. And then my friend Sabrina, she gave some stats the other day, I heard, and I wrote these down because they were so good. So the NFL, it is a $12.1 billion company. The music industry is 15 billion. The gaming industry is 91 billion. The network marketing is 184 billion. So if you're here right now, you're part of the elite, and you're right where you need to be. And you should feel so confident in that. You're at the right place at the right time. And also, you are on the very best team. And I'm not just saying that because this is like my team, but these women in here and men are so great. We're one of the fastest growing teams in all of Plexus. And there are a lot of really great, amazing teams out there. So the fact that we are one of the top fastest growing teams, we have all the resources, trainings. The culture here is just so tight knit. You will not meet better people. I promise you that. And then lastly, before I give you guys some action steps for it, I wanted to just mention kind of I don't want to say anything negative, but inflation is real, right? And they say this year alone, you need $6,000 just to make ends meet. That's not getting ahead. You need an extra $6,000 this year alone just to make ends meet. And that's a lot for somebody. What are you going to do? Go ask for a raise? I mean, that's a lot of money just to make ends meet. The economy is super unstable. Nobody really knows. I've been trying to look at what people project. Is the housing market going to crash? Is the economy going to be are we going to be in a recession? I don't know. Is it going to be like 2008? It's just so unstable, you guys. And you really do need a second or a third stream of income that you can rely on. Back in 2020, when people were getting laid off like crazy and people did not have jobs, my business more than tripled back in 2020. And so by having this Plexus business, I was shielded from all the craziness happening. And it is such a comfort knowing I'm creating a future for my family and that it's stable. And you can feel very confident in that. Okay, some action steps to build your belief in the business. The first thing I'm going to tell you is to watch Diamond Docs. If you go to our Empower page, I know some people have been popping their favorite ones in. And I think Natalie, unless it was Tova, I don't know. Somebody posted a whole long list of diamond docs, and they go by category. So you can go through there and watch them and watch them. They usually have some you can search and find. They do like Christmas stories. I don't remember what they call them, but there's like the Christmas stories, and you can find diamonds and watch their stories. They are so amazing. You can find people that you can relate to, because maybe you're like, well, I don't know, I've been watching this person, I just don't see myself. There is one of you out there, I promise. You can find somebody that you can relate to. Okay, another step. I want you to visualize and imagine what your own diamond doc would look like. Literally, what would your diamond doc look like? If your life right now, and maybe you've already, taken some steps and you're growing, but literally from where you started, and imagine yourself all the way to diamond, what would your diamond doc look like? I want you to put your vision in front of you. Natalie says she has it on her lock screen. And so put your vision in front of you and make sure to touch it every single day. You want to be able to visualize it and see it every day. Read books. Read books that are specific to personal growth and thriving in this business. And then, of course, be plugged into team calls and book club, Monday night calls like this, the Pink Power, any of the extra calls, or if we do opportunity events, get plugged in and again, immerse yourself in the culture. Okay, last thing is belief in yourself. And it is like the one thing I am the most passionate about above everything else. Like, it's my most favorite thing to talk about, because I love when people like catch on and they can finally see themselves as their best self. Because I know where I've come from, like my own testimony gets me out of bed and going, because I'm like, dang, look at where I was years ago when I was like, I could never lead people. I could never do that. Even though God put it in my heart at a really young age, like this vision of leading people, I'm like, that's crazy. I would never do that. I could never do that. And here I am. And so those dreams and like those passions that you have inside of you, they're there for a reason. God created you on purpose for a purpose. And you have to believe that you have gifts and talents and abilities inside of you. You have to know that. You have to believe that. And they can be dormant in there. I had several that just were inside of me. You have to first become aware and then develop them. And that takes, failing forward, like I was talking about earlier. You are not just going to be born and hello, I'm a leader, I know it all. It's like, no, the only difference between you and somebody else who's successful is the fact that they have failed over and over and over again. And so I want you to get out of your own way and know that you have everything inside of you to be successful and to make it. I want you to feel that like so hard. I'm like, I just want everybody, if I can look at somebody, I'm like, oh my gosh, they could totally do this. I see all their things inside of them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can visualize it. And so sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, it's like their light is just not on. And so it's like you get to kind of cast that vision for them. And I just want people to know, hey, you have a purpose. I promise you. And something else, I remember this years ago, there was a pastor at a church. We were kind of church hopping when we first moved to Savannah. And I remember him saying that the closer that people got to him, that they almost got like disappointed because they realized he was just such a normal person. It was like they thought that, God created him with something special that they don't have. And he's like, so then they got to know me and they're like, wow, he's just a normal person. The fact is, he had a calling on his life and he chose to wake up every single day and to pursue it. Every day he has to say yes. It's not just a one-time decision. Every day you wake up and you chase that dream. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to get stretched. Anybody is able, but it's like, are you willing? That is the question. They always say in this business that it's 20% skills and 80% mindset. And then also like your thoughts, you guys. Your thoughts are so important because your actions are aligned with your beliefs. And what you focus on expands. And so I'm going to leave you with some actions on self-growth, or on belief in yourself. And the first thing is going to be to become aware of those gifts and talents and abilities, because you want to become aware so that you can focus on them and develop them, because that's how you're going to start walking into your purpose. You can do this by Strength Finder. There's like a test you can take, Enneagram, color personality. There's a spiritual gift assessment. If I love the Lord and I believe that I have spiritual gifts, there's a test you can take for that. And then also getting in community with others. Like, God created us to be in community, and also finding the right community. I will say that your inner circle is so important. So make sure you choose wisely. But by getting in community, that's really where you can engage with other people, and then you figure out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And so it's so important to get in community with people. Take inventory of your thoughts. That is very important. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's the truth. So take inventory, and then if it does not serve you, get rid of it, replace it. Every single day, take inventory of your thoughts. Daily affirmations, getting into your Bible. I always say, like, the word before the world, every single day. That is so important. And so that's what I have for you guys. Belief is something I just want people to know. It is okay to start from scratch, to not have it, and that it is buildable. But you have to take ownership and know that it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. Nobody else can build belief for you. It is up to you. So take ownership, take the actions that you need. And I promise, you may fail and fail and fail, but eventually it leads to success. And so hopefully that was helpful for you guys. And I'll see you on the next call that started, I think, 1 minute ago. So we're a minute late. See you guys later.